Greetings. Today is July the 13th, 2023. My name is Brother Leroy Shabazz. I'm an emergency management practitioner in the city of Cincinnati, Ohio. This is a video about emergency radio and the importance of the black community understanding the importance of us having the capacity to have people in our community who know something about ham radio, emergency radio. I have been doing this process here in Cincinnati of dealing with trying to get our community prepared for things for quite a while. The purpose of this video is I want to tell you about a class that's coming up on the 25th. But when I say I've been dealing with this for quite a while, I want you to understand, if you went to, and I'm going to put the YouTube channel right here, CEFEMAP space news, CEFEMAP space news, you will see a video that I did, and I'm particularly talking about the fact that when I talk about me knowing what I'm doing and black leadership failing to do some things here in the city, it's because if you went to that YouTube channel, CEFEMAP News, you would see a video. It would say understanding understanding all hazards. And on that video, if you look at that video, it's about 8 minutes long, but I have a black FBI agent who was in Cincinnati, and he tried to warn the black community, the black leadership in Cincinnati about Rick Ross coming to set up the crack cocaine connections. He lost his job because the black leadership didn't do anything. Now you might say, Brother Leroy, that's a long time ago. What that got to do with now? Really, if the fact that the FBI agent is telling you that the police and the FBI know that this guy is coming, and they let him set up in the black community, that is a form of an emergency management. That is a form of biochemical warfare against a community. These are things that now if you're a common person, you really don't want to hear what I'm talking about. But if you are anyone within the black community with consciousness, I need you to understand it's important that you follow through on what I'm trying to tell you. Let me move on. Again, you go to CEFEMAP space news and watch that video. Right next to that, you'll see a congressman in a 3-minute video on that YouTube channel, and that congressman is talking about the Constitution being suspended and questioning Oliver North. All of this is around the same time that the CIA is pushing crack cocaine into the community. We have been set up. That's why right now when I say people are going to FEMA camps, and we need ham radio and emergency radio communications if the people end up in that situation so that we can communicate back and forth, or else we'll succumb to the whole trick that's being played on us. Okay, I was just told that my battery is about to die in this phone, so I'm gonna run really quick. Okay, again, ham radio. If you go to our Facebook channel, R4W Space Academy, R4W Space Academy on Facebook, you'll see a video of and some information about a radio training class. I'm going to attack that video that Brother Paul Muhammad is doing about his class he got coming up on July the 25th. I'm going to attack that right next to on the end of this video. Again, I'm done with what I really want to say, but I want to show you a few things. Again, radio communication, learning that ham radio, you're going to learn something about electronics because that's some basic stuff. Radio components and sine waves and all that is a part of what you need to do to get your license to have one of these ham radios. But you'll also learn something about electronics. Now, right here, I got this. This is called a power crate. There's a black company that produces this power crate. In case I ran out of electricity, I would be able to take this crate, hook up the solar panels, always have a battery charge where I can plug up my phones and things like this. This is things we need to talk about when it comes to emergency preparedness. Not for everyone, but for those of us who really want to make sure our community is prepared. Again, I need to move on. Again, working with drones. Again, drones are used for search and rescue and things like that, right? As well as for other things that we can use drones for. Again, as a CERT team program, I'm going to end right here. Again, I want to have a CERT team in every community. I want to have a CERT team because I want my CERT team to have a group of teams that fly drones to the point where they have drone racing competition with other communities who have your teams in your areas, and we have some constructive things for our youth to do, as well as learning electronics and different things like that. Go to my last point. Go to r4w.academy. This is a website, r4w.academy, and under the home button you see where I got student portal. You click the student portal. There's a really short test from a teachable platform, a really short course that you can take to help us to be able to put out courses in the future for disaster preparedness. There'll be a bunch of free courses to get you the essentials of what you need to know. I can't do everything now that I want to tell you so much. Please go to r4w.academy, r4w.academy. On the home button, you see student portal. Click on the student portal. Take that quick test course, because that allows me to know how to use the Teachable platform so that I can put other courses on there. I've said everything that I need to say for right now. Again, this is really about, I need ham radio operators. Now, Brother Paul Muhammad is charging $150 for that course, right? But check this out. If you live in public housing, you and a couple other sisters or brothers need to get together, find 3 or 4 teens. And with 3 or 4 families, you guys pay that $150, get all 3 or 4 of them teens to sit there and take that Zoom course, and hopefully all of them will be able to pass the course and get their license, pass the exam and get their license, so that they can all have, because Paul Muhammad don't care who's taking the course, he's just trying to push some things out. Again, you go check out the video, because he can tell you what the $150 is going to entail when you take the course. Again, we need people. If you end up going to, because the grid is going to go down. The power grid is going to go down. I'm looking about it within 18 months. From sources that I know they know what they're talking about. Within 18 months, that grid goes down. After 3 or 4 weeks, the white folks that I know going to show up and say, hey, can't do nothing else for you. Y'all got to go somewhere. When you go somewhere, you need somebody with some ham radios and some communication capacity to be able to radio back and say, hey, we need this, we need that, because these folks ain't giving it to us, right? And we need the person on the other end, me or whoever it is, to be able to say, hey, they need this or that in that area right there. Let's make sure that that happens. Brothers and sisters, you can fall for these politicians and these preachers that's on this like integration bull crap, but all white folks ain't in the game of hurting us and doing us any damage. But there's some of them that are just diabolical. With that, I'm gonna close and say peace to you and yours.
Greetings, family. I'm Brother Paul Muhammad, and I'm coming to you to tell you about a class that I'll be teaching dealing with emergency communication and how to establish an emergency communications plan for your family. You have to ask yourself, what will we do when all normal forms of communication fail? How would I communicate with my loved ones? How would I communicate with my children? Well, in this class, we show you practical application using radio technology. This radio is called amateur radio, or also known as ham radio. This small device has saved many, many lives. If you do the research from Hurricane Katrina to the wildfires in California, this device have come to the rescue. So you don't want to miss this class. It's $150 for the class, but out of that $150, you get your radio, you get your study material, you get your audio book, and you also get testing software, and you get a live teacher, myself, to answer any and all questions that you have. And we also are preparing you for the licensing test. There is a license because this device is regulated by the FCC. They regulate all communication airwaves. So what I do is help prepare you to get the technician class license test so that you can transmit on this device. So you can have this device without a license. You can listen on this device without a license, but you cannot transmit without a license. So this class will get you prepared, because we don't have a lot of time. There's disaster striking all across the planet, and you never know when disaster will strike you. So never think that it won't happen to you, because it will. So stay tuned and get ready and come to the class. If you want more information, you can go to www.temcomm.com. That's www.temcomm.com. This class will be fully online for 6 weeks, meeting once a week for 2 hours, once a week. That's all. So you can still go about your day and still come to the class via Zoom. And if you miss a class, guess what? You can get the recording of the class. So come on and help establish a family emergency communications plan and learn how to use this device called ham radio.